Hey people, it's your boy Casey from Comics Anime Film Entertainment, better known as C.A.F.E. Today I'm here with Nilda, my friend from
Hi.
childhood. We've been friends for a long time. So I bring
Yeah.
her up because I want to talk with her about nowadays we're having issues with how fandom can become toxic or sell it. I don't know if it's the correct word toxic. I mean, what do you think about this topic? First of all,
They can. I mean, it comes to a point that people are really, they really care and love a property, whether it be a TV show, comic books, movies, and they care about it so much, but it gets to a point that they seem like they feel they have ownership over that property,
yep.
but sometimes property needs to evolve and change. And they also look down on people who like, oh, you like it now. I've been into it like for 10 years. I don't understand why you like it now. They just look down on people that haven't discovered
Yeah.
said fandom. And and I was just watching a guy on TikTok. He's 27 years old and he's never read Harry Potter. He said that he saw the the movies when he was younger, but that most people would tell him, "Oh, you just saw the movies, you haven't read the book," and they look down on him because of that. He says now he's getting into it, and I am a Potterhead through and through. I've read the books, seen the movies, but I'm just happy when people like the same thing I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I think
I
when you
do.
put somebody down because I have more property of that because I've liked it longer, is not a way to create a good, healthy fandom. And I think there's a balance in everything.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Yes, I understand where you're coming from because I, well, we all experience some type of a toxic fandom or a person who really goes to the extreme of liking something that it goes to the point that if you don't follow or you don't actually like what the other person like, you're gonna get like in search of trouble because why do you not like it? And they continue harassing you. Why do you like? Because I don't like it. It's not my thing. Just because I like certain type of, for example, I like anime.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and people say, "Why don't you like mecha?" I like mecha, but I'm not into it as I'm into isekai. It's another genre, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still anime. So they're like they treat you, but they don't treat you because it's a different type of thing. You understand what I'm going through, right? it's
Yeah,
it's
it's the
it's
same
weird.
thing. Yeah, they feel like they have like the superiority complex. Like, what do you mean you don't
Yeah,
like this? How could you not like this? But I like this. But this isn't. Oh no, that's not good. What you like? I'm like, let people like whatever the hell people want to like. It's not a big. It's not that deep, But some people take it to other extremes. And I was telling you about what happened. I don't know. Was it like 2 or 3 years ago for the Ghostbusters reboot with the all female cast?
oh,
People did not see the movie and they were just, oh, it's horrible. I mean, like, first of all, you have to see the movie to say if it's horrible or not. Oh,
hmm,
and it's mostly, sorry, mostly men who are like, oh no, because there were this people, and I'm like, there have to be guys. I'm like, it's a reboot, it's a reimagination, and sometimes all those are successful. But the thing is, sometimes they don't give things a chance, and they just write it off right away. And the movie's not half bad. It's not. Nothing's gonna compare to the original Ghostbusters because it's
oh
there's
hell
nostalgia to it,
no.
and that's what people put nostalgia in things, and since it's nostalgic to them, they don't
Hmm.
want anybody to change it. But in
Yep.
reality, things change, and tastes change, and if maybe giving half a chance, they could have enjoyed the movie. It's not what is the movie? It's not Citizen Kane,
Oh
but it's an okay movie. I mean, you can
yeah,
have
yeah.
fun, but they didn't give it. I remember people as soon as it wasn't, they weren't even in production. They just said they're doing a reboot and it's gonna be all female, and all hell broke loose. And it
Yep.
was a little misogynistic.
Whoa. Whoa.
Basically, it was because most of it was men were just going, no, it has to be men. And I'm like, give it a chance. I mean, it's not. Is it the best movie? No. Could it be better? Sure, but it's at least give it a chance before you just poo poo on it.
Okay. All right.
And
I
that's
hear
with
you.
everything. You have to give everything a chance. And like I said, there's fandoms that just really just want to think they can control how the fandom goes. And it
Okay.
goes with everything. Even when I remember the Cursed Child came out and Hermione was cast as an African American or African a person of color, black woman, they were
Dang.
no, Hermione's white. Because I'm like, there's black people in England, right? I I hope you know that. I mean, you don't see them a lot in movies and TV, but there are people who are of African descent in Europe and in England, and people
Mm-hmm.
just went nuts. And they're like, so what? It doesn't care. Just because you were cast, they cast her as a black woman doesn't diminish how great the character was.
Sick.
And so what? Big deal. I mean, it's called blind casting for a reason, and it's happened a lot of time. I mean, but yeah, some fandoms are just rabid and they don't care and they want things the way they want them, and your opinion doesn't matter.
I like it that you brought that up because we're seeing a lot of diversity or inclusion, however you want to like it, in
Hmm.
movies and in every media. Let's say movie, big screen, small screen, series,
Hmm.
whatever. And does it have to be in every media or big screen, small screen? Does it have to be?
Well,
Is a must? Do you think it's a must to have inclusion in every type of scenario of the media?
and the short
I mean,
answer is
I'm just
yes.
I'm
The short
just
answer is yes, but
I
it
want to
really
know your
depends.
opinion. That's all.
Well, like I said, the short answer is yes, but it really depends on what the subject matter is. Because if you're having a
Hmm.
story in Japan about Japanese people, you're not going to
Hmm.
put
Here
a
we go.
person
Okay.
of, let's say, an American actress to play the Japanese role. It's not going to happen. It's not right,
Yeah, yeah. It's
because
like I
it's
got a
a
problem
it's
when
a specific story to a specific place. It's
I got a
about
problem
Japanese.
when
What?
you don't respect the creator or the author or whatever, how you
Well,
ever you want to, the
well,
person who write it or create the character is for a reason. It's
that
for
may be true, but I know
Mhm.
where you're going. But here's the thing: like I said, if
Okay.
it's a Japanese story or a Chinese story, you're going to have Japanese and Chinese actors to do that. Asian actors will
Okay.
do that. If it's a story about people from India, you're gonna have people from India. Now, in the context of fantasy, because I know where you're going,
Here we
I
go.
think it's important. Yes, I think it should be diverse because fantasy is a completely different genre. You're not gonna have a white woman play Rosa Parks, right?
Oh hell no.
But you can have a Native American or a let's say an Asian person play enough. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I don't know. It, it's 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 I don't know, man. This is a tricky situation because I mean, like you said, let's say a sample, like you said, an Asian movie. Let's
Hmm.
say The Last of the Samurai. Remember that
Hmm.
movie?
Yeah.
You think it was intentionally that the last guy who survived was a Caucasian or a white person who
Well,
become a samurai?
it's
Come on
isn't that a
now.
book? I don't know if it's a
I don't
book
I
or
don't know. I haven't read it. I just saw the movie. I'm
I saw the
basing
movie a really long time ago, and I honestly just erased the tape. I went Control Delete,
it was a
and
good
I don't
movie though.
I know, but I think that's more Hollywood stuff, but that's more. I don't know if they wanted to. Why he should have been the last one, I don't know. I think it should have been the other guy. But that's a
Yeah,
Tom Cruise movie, and Tom Cruise is, God in
yeah, I
his
know
own
it's the main
mind
guy, so I
of
don't.
his movies. But like, yeah. So, but I know there was another movie. Like, was it Seven? Was it Keanu Reeves about the samurais or the?
Running.
I don't
You
know.
mean
Was it no? I
the
don't. Was it
13
not? I don't know.
Samurai,
It was a
something like
movie
that?
about.
Yeah,
I
some
totally.
samurais. Yeah,
Yeah, but Keanu Reeves himself is half
right. Yeah,
um,
yeah,
Asian.
I know.
His dad is Chinese, Hawaiian. So but people don't see him as Asian. They see him as Keanu Reeves. But I don't. But like I said before, never mind that spiel. That whole. I think diversity really does matter, and we have to say I am by my avatar. I'm pale as they come, Puerto Rican, pale, get
Hmm.
sunburned on a cloudy day. But still, people would say, "Oh, I see these white actresses and see myself in them," and I don't. I don't see myself in these Caucasian actors because I'm not. I mean, I look white. I'm pale, but I'm Puerto Rican more before anything else. And I told a friend of mine, I said, "Look, have you seen In the Heights or not?"
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, well, like I said, I look like Vanessa. I'm very pale, very white, but I'm built like Kuka.
Yeah,
I'm curvy. I have a big booty. So I didn't see myself represented. And there I did. I saw, even though there was a lot of saying there weren't enough Afro Latinos in the cast,
hmm,
but at least we're there because we weren't before. If Latinos are pretty underrepresented and in media per se, and if we
hmm.
are represented, we're either maids, drug dealers, gang members. It's not
Yeah,
really ever done in a nice light. Even now, West Side Story. I remember the original. Rita Morena would talk. Said they put me in brown makeup, like layers of brown makeup, and she says that's not who I was. And not every Latino looks like Jennifer Lopez. Not every Latino looks like Ricky Martin. We are a diversity of people,
hmm,
but I think it's important that we just feel included and that we see ourselves in the media as any media because you will feel left out. I mean, how many truly, aside from the Cosby Show, how many TV shows were there that you saw
wow.
an African American family that had good
Yeah,
jobs,
there,
that
wow, there weren't too
you know
much. I think it was the
what
Cosby.
the Cosby Show? Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Because you had
And then came after that, the Family Matters.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. But
Steve
it's only
Urkel gang.
out of that many, how many in the history, let's say in the last 50 years, there's only been a handful. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
there's
oh yeah,
oh my God, it's not whitish. It's not blackish.
Blackish.
Is it
Yeah,
blackish? Is it the name of with,
yeah,
oh my
Blackish.
God, what's her name?
Because
Oh my
after
God, I
Blackish
can't go into
is
it.
Grownish, which is the spinoff.
Yeah, no,
But it's
no. But yeah, but they have the Proud Family stuff like that. But there's only a handful.
yeah.
There's not a lot of shows that show African American families, but there's a whole bunch of shows of white people.
Oh
And
yes.
right now, you
Oh
only
gosh.
how many shows are there with Asian people
Oh,
as the
Fresh
center?
off the
There
boat.
was
I
the
like,
show
I like
with
that one.
Margaret
Fresh off the
Chow
boat.
that was in the '90s. Fresh
Hmm.
off the boat, and I think Kim's Convenience, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too. I saw that one too.
And then for Latin people, what was that? You don't see any. Besides One Day at a Time, which was so good on Netflix, it was so good. Cuban Americans, most of the actors were Puerto Rican. It was really, really good. But that's it. And you want to see yourself in that. Boy, we changed topics real quick, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But don't worry, it doesn't matter. We just, brainstorming and talking a little bit of everything. But I don't mind. I don't mind because
Yeah,
it's still
but
part of what happened with the fandom
mhm.
and what is going through right now that affects all of the media.
Yeah, but
Fandom are toxic, and this is what happened. Maybe
yeah,
for it's a counter. It's like reacting to the fandom. Like,
yeah,
okay, fandom wants diversity. Let's give them diversity. But for me, it's not that I'm a purist, but I like to respect like I said before, the person who took time in writing and creating this world, and you as a director maybe or want to change that. For me, it's like just disrespecting him. For me, just it's just me. At
but
least you can give a chance to leave the main character as it is. Why change it? You can change the other characters. I don't mind that
what character
because,
are they changing?
uh,
And
for example, let's say we all know this character from the comic book that always been uh, Caucasian or white, and all of a sudden you
mhm,
want to change it for being black. Let's say Clark Kent. We know him
mhm,
as white, right? And all of a sudden
okay.
you want to change it as black. Hey, you got Calvin Ellis, you got Valsad. It's okay. Hey, you can put those two. Why you want to specifically Clark Kent? It's been like what 80 years almost. He's been Clark Kent as Caucasian. And you want to put it now with black? I know it's a character, it's a fantasy, uh, made up character. It's not real life, but it was built that way, was written that way. Respect it. That's all I'm saying. You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, I understand. The
And
funny
people get
part
mad, and
is,
some people get mad because
you
it's time
know,
for a change. It's time for him, but he wasn't built like that. Come on now, don't.
well, I don't. You see, that's the thing with fantasy characters. I don't mind. I think it's great that they wanna. Um,
Okay.
I think it's absolutely great because, like I said, you want to see yourself be representative, and you have. I'm. You of course you've seen Encanto
Yeah, I like the
as
canto. Yeah,
most the entire world.
my daughter loves it.
Exactly. And when I saw them, like, yeah, this is what my family, my my grandmother and my great grandma's family looked like.
Hmm.
My great grandmother is of Taino descent. She has this dark copper reddish skin, and she happened to marry a white Puerto Rican. They had 6 children. 3 of them came out like my great grandma, the other like my great grandpa, and that's how our families were. I had a cousin, Marianita, who looked just like Isabel, like that dark, beautiful copper skin with that jet black hair. And then there's me, who's the pale one with the curly hair, and that's what my family looked like. And I'm like, yeah, and this represents my family, and I see myself in there, and I think it's
Hmm.
just great. I mean,
Yeah, I feel you. I
when
feel you.
this little boy who saw Antonio, he thought it was looking at himself. He
Yeah.
just looked at the Antonio in Canto and said, "Oh, he looks just like me." And I think that's really important because we don't get to see that a lot.
No.
And I in fantasy, I really don't mind
Okay.
when their characters
Mhm.
when they do blind casting because honestly, maybe he was the best person for the role. He just
Yeah.
happens to be African American,
Yeah. That's another
or
thing.
maybe
That's
he
another
was the
thing.
best. Yeah, he's
Uh,
the best person for the role. You don't.
now that now that you
Yeah,
brought that up, did you know that Zoe Kravitz, she tried to go for Catwoman. She went for the casting of Catwoman, like
yeah.
2005 for the movie Batman Begins. Oh no, it was
Hmm.
2012. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises, and she couldn't get the the role because she was, half black, half white, and they
Mhm.
wanted to be a white person who do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't that right there. Like I said
It's
before, I respect the character and the person who, but she's a good actress. I mean, for a young actress, she's pretty decent, and she can do the role. Give it to her. It's not the main
but here's
character. It's not the main character. So
but
why?
here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
There was another. I mean, it wasn't Eric. What's her name? Eartha Kitt. She was Catwoman, and she was an African American woman.
Okay. Yeah.
Eartha Kitt was one of the first Catwomen,
Yeah. I
if
mean,
I'm not mistaken.
if you're gonna do a movie
Eartha
of
Kitt. Yeah.
Catwoman now,
Yep.
that's a different story.
No, no,
That
no.
for
In
me,
the '60s, Eartha. I don't know.
but what I
If I'm not
mean by
mistaken.
it is like for the movie Batman, the movie is Batman. So the main character is Batman. If the side character, Catwoman or whatever, I don't mind. But once you start talking about Catwoman, maybe I'm saying maybe respect it and bring the real one. For the main purpose. You see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
I'm drawing again, like I told you before. It's fantasy. It's made up character from a comic book to a real live action movie. So people want to, like you say, you want to be represented, but at least respect the character for that role. But if you put it as a side character, you can put it red, white, or even yellow. I'm no disrespect for the Asian. I'm sorry if I use the term, but they understand. You can put it whatever because it's not the main character. I don't
But
mind that at all.
that means, but you know what that says, that we're not. That tells me that makes people think we're not worthy of being the main character.
No, but it's not the
Get it?
the oh
We're
yeah, I
not
understand
worthy
where
of
I
being.
understand where you're going. I understand where you're going. I understand where you're going. That's what happened with Zoe Kravitz with that movie. But she was a side character. I didn't mind that if you do that because your main focus is on the what? Batman. It's not about Catwoman. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I understand, but it's still, when it's fantasy and comic books, you can make rules and
You can bend them,
and
yeah.
you can bend them.
I'm trying to be
And
more
you
flexible
can
now.
still you
That's
can
why
still be
like,
fit.
that's why I said I don't mind if it's a side character. I don't mind that. You can change it whatever. Nowadays, they're changing all the redhead for a black character. And you can look for it. Let me do a share. Let me look. Hold on. You can
Okay.
continue talking while I'm looking for that right now.
No, but I truly think, like I said, unless the character is based on a real person, and I think you can do blind casting. It doesn't matter. Whoever, some people just have a certain vision they want to add to. I mean, sorry, that they have, and I just think it really doesn't bother me at all if they change the person's race or ethnicity, as long as they're good. The original character's characteristics are fine. I think skin color, hair color, whatever, that's just secondary.
Okay. I'm gonna show you a list. I hope people don't get mad at me for this, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Here we go.
Oh, famous last words. Yep, I'm all for it. All for it.
Here we go. Halle Bailey is gonna be the new mermaid.
All for it. She's
And
into
we seen
makeup.
and we seen I didn't mind Hamdall. And we see here Annie. I remember that movie too. Wally West, red hair. Iris, and the list going on and on and on and on. Batgirl uh changed. You see?
I don't mind at all. I don't, because I think, like I said, diverse. When you see yourself represented, you feel seen. You feel like people acknowledge you. And for a long time, people have it. Um, and I like, okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
Gabrielle Union, you know who she is, right?
Oh yeah, she's gonna be in a new movie with Zac Efron. Zac Efron? No,
No, no.
Zach Braff.
Gabrielle Union. No,
Yeah, I
Gabrielle
know.
Union.
Gabriel
She's
Union.
married to I think he was a former basketball player or a basketball.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade.
She. They have. She has a 3-year-old daughter, and she
Okay.
was talking today. She was on the View,
Okay.
and she said that her daughter has, the braids with the little beads on them. That
Okay.
hairstyle with beads on the bottom at the end of the braids. She said that she took her daughter to the Atlanta Aquarium. It was, I think, the first time her daughter ever went to an aquarium. She's like 3 or 4, I'm not sure. And that she saw beluga whale. She was, wow, beluga whale. But she's like, okay, that's really pretty. And a friend of hers went to, we were supposed to meet up or something. I'm not really sure. And they
Mhm.
said, oh, my daughter's going to this dance class. She says, oh, maybe I'll put her in just to see if she likes it. And she's getting her daughter all ready with the leotard, the ballerina, the one piece with the slippers. And her daughter sees another little girl with braids and beads. And she went, oh, Mama, she looks like me. That little girl was more impressed and more happier to see a little girl that looked like her than seeing a beluga whale.
Wow.
So that tells me that it does matter, and little children need to see themselves represented. And you just go, wow, that impressed her more that there was a little girl that looked just like her than watching this beautiful animal in the aquarium. That says a lot.
Yeah, it does. So that being said, I think you said it. You said it yourself. I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder. Everybody wants to be, entitled to see themselves or inspired by the character they see. So I don't mind that at all. In terms of what inspires you, what character do you see? I love any type of superhero. I love superhero movies. So, but my favorite, one of my favorites, got to be, Black Panther, of course. But it's
Of
like you
course.
said, everybody wants to see themselves in or inspired by any other character or person that's seen series or television or the big screen. So I'm gonna close here because we're almost like 30 minutes. I hope you like this. If you like any of our any other, we were gonna continue with another round. So I don't want to get this long. So Nilda, you want to say something before we leave, or
No, I hope it was okay. First time
uh,
doing this,
yeah,
so
don't worry. We're just talking randomly, and we talk about this, and we can continue talking about other stuff. So we can talk about you like you said before, you like Harry Potter. We can talk about that later. So gonna bring more content about that. So people, if you like about all that we talk about is comics, anime, film, and entertainment, just subscribe to the channel, press like, thumbs up, and share with other people so we can make this channel grow. So we're gonna go. So peace.